Listening Library presents White Widow, Secret Sisters by Tess Sharpe. Narrated by Carlotta Brentan. For the superheroes who changed my life, Dr. Nick Kongoasa, Steve Fisher, Jim McCarthy, and the wonderful staff at the CRRS and Northside Hospital in Atlanta. 1. The Outpost. Location redacted. Victor Crane stalks through the hallways of the compound, seething with every step. People scatter when they see him coming, his sour mood clear, and the reputation behind it legendary. He has good reason to be in a terrible temper. Until she arrived, his recruits never injured themselves in training like this. But then she swept in a month ago, sent from on high, and he's been left reeling in the wake of her chaos ever since. So far, she's rendered 4 different girls unconscious during training, made 2 others cry so hard they hyperventilated, and now this most recent incident. It's quite enough, if you ask him. She's a terror, a menace. If she hadn't been sent by the commander himself, he would kick up a much larger fuss about her presence. But now he has real motive to get rid of her. He can't imagine putting up with her for another 6 weeks as planned. She simply has to go. He reaches his destination, the holding cell. It takes a few moments before he's calm and steely enough to enter. He certainly won't be tricked into hyperventilating. Every time he sees her, a ringing starts in his ears. Like his anger at being overruled and defied and shown up has no choice but to pour out in that tinny, annoying sound. There's something about her that unsettles him. He glances through the tiny window that looks into the cell. The way she's lying on the bench in that cell, whistling to herself like she has no care in the world, is infuriating. Another deep breath, and he unlocks the door, pushing inside with an authority that usually makes the girls quell immediately. Instead, she continues to whistle. Some jaunty tune he doesn't recognize. Yelena Belova is not one of the widows in training under his watchful eye. She comes from the Red Room, the original Red Room. In his world, they call it headquarters. She calls it home. Victor vehemently opposed it when Commander Starkovsky suggested an exchange program. Headquarters sends one girl to the outpost and vice versa. When he was overruled by both Alexander Cady, director of the entire operation, and his own brother, Thomas, it left a bitterness. His twin should be siding with him, not Director Cady. Not only is Victor reluctant to send any of the girls overseas, but he is uneasy at the idea of letting headquarters get a close-up view into their operation when it has been almost a decade of the Red Room being content with quarterly reports. The sudden interest, and sending their best and brightest, makes him nervous. Did headquarters want to poach some of the outpost trainees? Shut down the outpost operation for good? Or was it truly just a whim of Commander Starkovsky's to create a sort of girl spy foreign exchange program for the best of his flock? Belova! He wants to be the kind of man who can bark an order or a name, but she doesn't even cease her whistling. Maddening girl. Yelena finishes the stanza of the song before finally turning her head to look at him, her blonde hair spilling off the edge of the bench with the movement. There's a streak of blood in it. It's definitely not hers. She's a savage creature born of violence. He underestimated her when she came here. He thought she was here to learn, but he was quickly disabused of that notion. No, Belova is here in a move of power from headquarters, and only he seems to be able to see it. His brother scoffed so hard when he brought it up, he didn't dare voice it to Director Cady. The Outpost is a fledgling organization. They're barely starting their 3rd generation of trainees. Yelena's been cutting a swath through the duet generation, and the 1st generation, the solo generation, has fewer than a dozen girls living to show for it. It's like his brother has forgotten they haven't been wildly successful. But Victor is well aware of their failures, of the pressure that's been mounting.
"Explain yourself,"
he says to Yelena. "I'm whistling to entertain myself," she says flatly. "I thought it was obvious."
"Explain yourself about the incident this morning in the training gym,"
he says, refusing to play her game. She slowly rises from the bench. He never would have thought such a small girl could be so deadly, but perhaps that is part of why she was chosen. She's deceptive in size and demeanor. A girl who can slip through the cracks and no one will be the wiser.
"I don't understand," she says. "Cynthia's leg is broken."
"That is very sad for her," Yelena says. "But your brother told me to, how did he phrase it? Give it my all."
"He didn't want you to put one of the girls out of commission for 6 months.
Victor snarls, ignoring the fact that his brother, Thomas, laughed for a good 5 minutes over Belova's final move on the sparring mat. "Your girls have been taught to spar," Yelena comments, her air not just bored, but superior. That ringing in his ears grows.
"Of course they've been taught to spar."
"You don't understand my meaning," Yelena says, with the patience of someone speaking to a small child, which is infuriating. "Your girls have been taught to spar. They have not been taught to fight. Not for their lives. They attack like they don't just expect someone will call things off when it gets too rough. They know it. It is a mistake to train them as you have. They do not think with their bodies and minds. They keep thinking just with their minds. That gets widows killed."
"I helped create their training regime,"
Victor says, outraged. "Have you ever had to fight for your life, Commander Crane?" Yelena asks. Victor knows his silence is an answer, because the infuriating girl smirks. "The girls out there, soon they will know. Soon it will be their lives. Don't you think it's better that they learn it in here first, where their legs can be fixed and they can grow from the lesson, than out there in the field where they can die from it? Or is this why the commanders back home gossip about the dead widows of the American Outpost?" Blood drains out of Victor's face faster than Yelena had broken Cynthia's leg earlier. The sickening crunch that echoed through the sparring room echoes in his ears again, temporarily blocking out the ringing. "I guess that answers my question," Yelena says, getting to her feet. "Can I go now? It's been hours."
"You're not getting out."
She rolls her eyes and lies back down on the cot. "Very well." She starts to purse her lips. So help him if she starts whistling again.
"Cynthia's leg is broken in 3 places," he bursts out. "That is not what giving your all means."
"Then your brother should have been clearer," Yelena says. "My training did not include such disclaimers as, don't break girls' legs when they go for hidden shivs in a hand-to-hand fight." Victor flushes. He has been telling himself that knife honed out of a toothbrush handle that clattered to the mat between the girls as they grappled must have belonged to Belova. But if he looks at the situation logically, he knows it couldn't be true. Yelena would have used the crude weapon instead of delivering that brutal blow to Cynthia's leg.
"You're not going to get away with this,"
Victor tells her.
"I'll be writing a report."
"To complain to headquarters that I am showing how breakable and two-faced your trainees are?" Yelena asks. "After all, it was not my knife, and we both know it." Victor goes cold. He hasn't thought of it through that lens. He's been focused on headquarters being outraged that Belova damaged one of their investments and derailed important projects. "I wouldn't want to reveal such things if it were me," Yelena says. "I would worry it would make me look both incompetent and unable to control my trainees. But what am I but a simple girl?"
"You're a Category 5 hurricane," Victor says.
We are accustomed to weathering strong storms in my home, so I'll consider that a
Sample complete. Ready to continue?